Hello, I'm Danny Bozing. Welcome to this edition of Connections, Samtec's online newsletter. Today, I'm with Mr. Jim Alexander, and Jim's the RF Applications Engineering Manager at Samtec. Say hello, Jim.
Hello, Jim.
Good job. Now today, we're talking about precision RF and millimeter wave products. Jim, what are they, and how are they different from standard RF?
Well, Danny, most of us are probably familiar with standard RF connectors, also referred to as microwave. Common examples would be MCX, MMCX, BNC, TNC, SMA, and SMB connectors, just to name a few.
Just a few, yeah.
These connectors are usually rated to lower frequency ranges, say maybe 4 to 6 gigahertz, 10 to 12 gigahertz, a little bit more, a little bit less. However, precision RF and millimeter wave are typically for higher frequencies, usually anything greater than 18 gigahertz, but certainly upwards of 30 gigahertz. Precision RF connectors require tighter tolerances than standard RF, and because of that, they're a bit more expensive.
Okay, well thanks. Now, why is Samtec pursuing this high-frequency RF?
Well, it's a good question. For the same reason that we developed a lot of high-speed board-to-board connectors and cable assemblies a few years ago. Electronic systems today require higher data rates and much higher frequencies in the electromagnetic spectrum. And because of that, these precision connectors are required.
Okay. Well, Jim, what are some common applications for these products?
Precision RF and millimeter wave connectors and cable assemblies are used in wireless communication, autonomous vehicles, radar systems, SATCOM, aerospace and defense systems, satellites, test and measurement, imaging, and medical, among others.
Okay. Well, Jim, what is this thing here sitting on the desk, and why do we have it here?
Well, Danny, this is Samtec's RF connector tree. And if it were a real tree, we could look at the rings and see how the product offering's grown over time. And as an example, at the base of the tree, we have some of the older standard RF connectors. And then moving up, the frequency range increases. We can see super SMAs and 3.5 millimeter that work to about 34 gigahertz, 2.92 millimeter to 40 gigahertz, 2.4 millimeters compression mount styles to 50 gigahertz, and then SMP push-on style connectors that'll work to 40 gigahertz. Another style of push-on is an SMPM, and we offer both discrete and gang systems, what we call our Magnum RF product line. And these connectors are used in high density applications as well as the high frequencies, up to about 65 gigahertz. And then continuing up to even beyond 65 gigahertz would be 1.85 millimeters. And then getting near the top of the tree, we see 1.35 millimeter connectors that work up to 90 gigahertz. And for now, at the top of the tree, our highest offering is a 1 millimeter connector up to 110 gigahertz.
Okay. Jim, what are these block style connector systems? I see three of them there.
Yeah, Danny, these are what we call our bullseye test connectors. And we have offerings for 50, 70, as well as a new 90 gigahertz connector offering. The one that you're pointing to, or at least in the middle there, is the BE70A, which is a high performance test point system. As the name implies, is rated to 70 gigahertz. It's ideal for characterizing silicon, and it's capable of 112 gigabits per second PAM4 testing. The one you're looking at shows our 1.85 millimeter RF connectors on N2.
Okay, thanks. Now, why are there so many different styles of connectors?
Good question. Smaller push-on connectors are typically used inside a customer's box design, and larger connectors will typically interconnect those boxes or maybe connect the box to an antenna. The Magnum RF ganged connectors, because there's multiple channels, they're typically used in array applications. And then the really high frequency threaded connectors currently, 1.35, 1 millimeter, they're currently used just mostly for test.
Okay, well, we have a lot of options, especially with the cable assemblies. How does a customer figure out the correct part number when we have all these different part numbers and all these different options? It seems like it could get complicated.
For sure. And we've got a great online tool for that, one we call the RF Solutionator. Starting with the connectors, designers can use the RF Solutionator to build a cable assembly. After choosing the connectors, the tool will narrow down the cable choices and help you configure the part number. From there, you can see technical data, pricing, and you can place an order, among other options.
All right. Jim, can you point our viewers to someplace on our website with a list of all of these RF products?
Sure. You can go to samtec.com/RF. And if you've got specific questions, you can always email us at rfgroup@samtec.com.
Okay. Thanks, Jim. Good information. And thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next edition of Connections.